Hello. So what we've covered in the previous classes is like we've covered most of the features which WordPress offers through the dashboard. So now we are going to a very important section where we discuss about the WordPress security. Security in the sense of the different CMSs, though WordPress offers extensive very simplicity for usage, at the same time it has been criticized by multiple people for its security lapses. So let's have a quick go through of what are the different security issues which WordPress generally faces. So this is one of the infographics which discusses how and all WordPress blogs get hacked. So if you see over the years, even in 2012, there were over 170,000 websites uh, which were hacked, blog WordPress websites. So the hacking has multiple reasons. The hacking can be due to the hosting, or it can be due to the theme, or it can be due to passwords, and it can even be due to plugins. We'll discuss that in detail. But let's discuss some basic ways in which you can actually harden your WordPress site security. The first point, always keep WordPress up to date to the latest released version. This is very important because in each WordPress release there are a lot of security updates which coming. So if you're not updating to the latest version, then the previous version's security vulnerabilities can be used to compromise your website. Second point, don't display the WordPress version on your blog. There is a setting for that which we will discuss in this session. And always back up your data for WordPress to Dropbox or Google Drive, an external host. That again we will be discussing in a later course. Try to hide your WordPress config.php. So this is the WordPress configuration file. And don't never use the standard username called admin or administrator, or your site name itself. For example, if it's hashtag group, don't use hashtag group as a username, because that is what the hackers usually brute force. And always report any bugs to security at wordpress.org. And hosting is again a very important aspect for security. So always get hosting services from well-established web hosting companies. And don't install WordPress themes that are available for free. This is important because the free themes, they have their code exposed to everyone. So also there is a lot of base 64 hacks which are being used for free themes. And also some people, what they might do is they might use themes from third-party sites, illegal or hacked themes or null themes. These also are subject to all these malicious file injection. So it's always good to use themes which are legally purchased from Theme Forest or other theme directories. And always use strong passwords for all entry points. So this is the WordPress password, or for separate user password and all that. So always use strong passwords and not something very generic like test123 or something $123. Those are like common things which anyone can guess. Protect the WP admin directory. You can set permissions for that, and deny also access to your plugins and other important directories. And the last point is a bit important, which a non-programmer can also do, where we install some security plugins which help us in making the site more secure. So now let's see like the most common forms of vulnerabilities. So the first one, security themes. Second one, vulnerabilities. The security theme is like the theme coding when it's being done. So there can be some security lapses in it which can be used by the hacker. Vulnerabilities on your computer. So in your local computer, whatever you're using to install WordPress and modify WordPress, in that computer, if someone installs a keylogger or some kind of a malicious code, then they can extract that. They can probably do a screen recording of your activities, or take a screen log of whatever username and password you type, and using that they can compromise your WordPress website. Vulnerabilities in WordPress, since it's open source, people keep testing, people keep reporting security bugs, security issues. So WordPress fixes it in later releases, but in the previous release, if you're not yet updated the WordPress base version. So this is a vulnerability which will probably affect you. Then fourth one is updating WordPress, and fifth one is reporting security issues. People report always keep testing WordPress and keep reporting it. Web server vulnerabilities. This is like whatever base Apache Tomcat server, whatever you're using, that also can have certain vulnerabilities using which someone can inject malicious scripts into your website. So there are also network vulnerabilities, and this password security is what we discussed earlier, where your passwords need to be a little bit more secure. SFTP encryption, if you use a normal FTP and the FTP access is hacked by someone, you can use FTP to hack into your WordPress website. File permissions by default, if you it is 655 or 700, but in case you've given 777 file permissions for everyone to do anything. So then again, you have problems there. And while changing file permissions, if you make some mistake, that also will affect it. Automatic updates, sometimes the updated version might have some vulnerabilities. And then there is database security, where the database username and password, if it is like too easy to guess, from there you can actually hack into the website. The WP admin, if it is not secure, that will have issues. If the WP includes folder is not secure, that has issues. The WP config.php, whatever we discussed above, so that is the main configuration file for WordPress. If that again is compromised, then that using that they can enter the database and hack the website. So disabling file editing is one thing which you can do, which we will be discussing a little bit later. So plugin updates, even if the plugins are outdated, then what happens is those old version of the plugins might have some vulnerabilities which will affect your site. Firewall plugins, plugins that need write access, code execution plugins, all these are related to plugin vulnerabilities. Security through obscurity. Then administrator account renaming is one of the options by using not having admin or the standard usernames. Changing the table prefix is one way in which you can prevent it. Table prefix is usually WP underscore, and all this is like more advanced WordPress. So there's no point in discussing these in depth. I'm just giving a brief of what all you can actually do. And data backups is one thing which can save you. Regular data backups to their cloud server, be it Google Drive or Dropbox, and always security logs or something which you should keep tracking. And all this is like basically for your network administrator to do. As a normal user who doesn't have too much of programming knowledge, the main things what you can do is securing your password and make sure like everything is up to date, and installing a few security plugins which I will be letting you know at the end of this section. So these three things are enough ideally for you to keep your site hacker proof. So there are certain signs that show your site has been hacked. For example, you can run your entire site and run a virus scan or something. And then if your permalink, usually when your site gets hacked, the permalink structure changes. The HT access, they will what they will do is they'll open this HT access and then add a redirection to some malicious sites. Then also redirections can be added from your home page itself. When you type your home page, it goes to some other page. Weird contents, there will be some ads or something which you didn't put in the website, but it will display it in the front end site. Google, sometimes when you go to search, it gives a warning message saying that this site may be hacked. And searches leading to that, maybe if someone searches for Viagra or any other spam keyword, so that brings your site, that brings them to your site. That is again an indication of that your site is hacked. Unusual admin users, if you see the user profile, whatever we just saw in the earlier course. So if you find some new users added, then that means your site has probably been compromised. Weird database tables, like the base WordPress data table is there, and if you find some additional database tables, then it means probably someone has hacked into your website. So there are common signs that your site has been hacked. In addition, certain hosting providers, like if your site has been hacked, they will send you an email telling that your site has been compromised and you need to fix it. So most common ways for a website to get hacked: you get a virus on your local PC, your passwords are very easy to crack. So contact us form goes to a script in your site for processing. Your website will display only plain HTML and JavaScript pages, and approve non-relevant comments by backlink seekers. These are ways in which your site can ideally get hacked. So these are certain statistics about WordPress security. So there are a total of 67 million WordPress sites, and each month 4.1 billion web pages are being used, and 8.8 million new posts and 62.4 new comments every month. These are like magnanimous numbers. And WordPress is easily vulnerable to security attacks. There are 505 vulnerabilities currently related to WordPress. Uh, on May 1st, the Hacker News reported that millions of sites powered by WordPress were used to carry out distributed denial of service attacks, where they send multiple requests to your website and making it eventually down. So this is about it. And what makes WordPress so vulnerable? One is that it is popularity. So there is always a trade-off between user security and user experience. So the more and more you make it user-friendly, the more and more you have to compromise on security. That's why even if you compare Linux and Windows, Linux is considered to be very secure, but again, it's not user-friendly. Windows is considered to be very user-friendly, but again, it's not that secure as Linux. So old versions again get targeted due to lack of patches and updates, problematic themes and plugins, and laxity. Not of WordPress users are like entry-level users and don't take security that seriously. That's one reason why I actually included this in the course, because security is something very important. Because once your website gets hacked, then it's a problem, because your site becomes down and whatever hard work you did to develop your website goes to waste. So these are like the core, again, a description, a breakdown of the different security issues. Like 120 out of 400 security issues, 32% comes from the core, 150 issues, sorry, 28% is miscategorized, and 40% is from plugins. So as I mentioned earlier in the course, there are like few security plugins which actually help you in keeping your site secure. This one is very good one. The WP Security offers a wide range of security features. There is also bulletproof security and all-in-one security, WP Security and firewall. Again, this adds a firewall, software firewall to your website. Security scanner, it keeps scanning your site for malware. WordFence is something which we discussed sometime earlier. It's a fully featured security plugin. So there is a website defender. So this also is a comprehensive security tool. And exploit scanner searches your database for any suspicious code. And this one is a pretty useful one. The limit login attempts, where like if someone tries to hack into your website by using brute force, after 5 or 10 login attempts, it's automatically locks the user from trying to log in again. So these are some plugins which you can use to improve the security. So I hope you'll follow all these points whatever we discussed here to make sure like your site is pretty secure and not prone to hacker attacks.